Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome, Daily Theologians. I'm so glad you're here. This channel exists to help equip and inspire you to share hope. So thanks for being here. Today is a quick story about a little guy on a scooter that has gone viral for really bad reasons, having to do with disrespect for the flag and the country in general. Check this out. So a general appreciation for the country within which you live, especially as believers, is something that we can appreciate. Now, obviously, the United States is not a Christian nation, but it was heavily influenced by Christian thinking and morality, which is true and good and generally helpful for the nation. It will prosper if it follows these basic principles, because this is how God has created people, and it's wrong to lie, steal, or vandalize. And today you'll see the fruit of this CRT, and imagine where this goes in 10 years. Will this little guy be on top of a car, smashing it, jumping, throwing things, and you can imagine where this goes if left unchecked, because the parent's job is to help the child fear God and follow what's good and right. But first, remember Loudoun County. So Byron Tanner Cross, or Tanner Cross as he goes by, has declared that he wouldn't affirm biological boy can be a girl, vice versa, because it's against his religion, it's lying to a child, and abuse of a child, it's sinning against our God. Children are very much in the crossfire right now. They are being used as pawns in a political scheme for a power grab using critique. It's just a critical thought. You know, there's a point in which critical thinking becomes lying, and it's very quickly recognizable if you have a standard of truth. The Bible's called the canon. It's a measuring rod or stick by which we evaluate truth. And truth is based on a person. It's always based on a personal standard. Either you believe the person telling you the thing or you don't. And because God upholds the universe by the word of his power, all scientific ideologies are based on his immutable character. Also, Jesus claimed to be the source and standard of truth. He said, I'm the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. Thus, giving you an epistemological reason for truth, how you can know things to be true. And this is very important, but it's something that most people just dismiss, and they totally ignore this kind of field of thinking, and they go about to establish their own righteousness because it is a self-righteous religion of self. And you'll see that in this clip here. So check out this little guy on a scooter. So there he goes. He picks up the flag. Oh, he missed. He's got his helmet on. That's good. Throws it. It almost went back into the ground. And then his mom just, yeah, whatever. And off they go. One more time. Here he goes. The miss. Whoop. She doesn't say anything, apparently. Or maybe she is, but she's not stopping him. This looks like a Ring doorbell or something like that. And away she goes. And this is really a picture of entitlement, brattery of the highest order. Is brattery a word? I think we should make it a word. Brattery of the highest order. And no respect for others, no respect for their property. This is called vandalism. It is a crime. And the country has no fear of God. And so you see this, and you see a parent who's supposed to be training up their child, presumably his mom, and she's not doing it. And she's apparently giving approval to this. So this is the fruit of where this critique of society goes, vandalizing other people's property because you view freedom of expression in this way as hate or as violence. But it's not violence. This is a thing where people like my grandparents, and specifically my grandpa, lost a leg on Okinawa, fighting for the freedom that this little brat is using for his own destruction. And it's destructive to neighbors, it's destructive to others, and it's wrong to break other people's property. It's a crime in God's court. Ultimately, I'm not the judge, but Jesus is the judge, and every knee will bow and every tongue will confess that Jesus Christ is Lord to the glory of God. See, there's a healthy fear of God upon which right law should be based, that God's eyes are in every place, that God created humanity special in his image to bear his image, to represent him, if you will, to the world, and to do what is right and good, to be fruitful and multiply, to raise up godly children to be part of his kingdom, which was the original plan in Genesis. And when you see stuff like this happen, it's a deviation of the created order. It's a rebellion against neighbor, because Jesus summed up the law by saying, love God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength. The second commandment is like it, love your neighbor as yourself. And clearly, most people in the CRT movement love themselves. Now, they'll say, no, we're concerned with justice. No, you're not concerned with justice. You're concerned with self-righteousness and a distorted view of reality in order to help other people, like communists, get power because they want power. Now, ultimately, the only government that will last forever is a theophany. It's Christ reigning. It's his rule and a theonomy, sorry, not theophany, theonomy, where basically Christ is ruling, and that's what we want. We want God reigning, and that's what will happen for all of eternity. And so that's where our hope is in the death, burial, and resurrection of the God-man Jesus Christ, who can adopt even this guy into his kingdom and his mom and the whole town if he wants to. But they must repent and believe in his death, burial, and resurrection. They must pass from being enemies with God to being friends of God through the cross, and that only comes through the cross. So thanks for watching. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. Stuff like this is hard for me to watch because we spend so much of our time teaching our kids right from wrong and pointing them to the gospel and explaining things based on reality. And this is a distortion of reality, and it's not a good way to raise up your children either. So remember to hammer that like button. Like the 95 Theses, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. We would greatly appreciate it. We're trying to reach 10 bajillion people, or at least a billion. That would be good. Thank you, and God bless.